Hello and welcome back, friends. We're glad to have you. As always, we hope you will subscribe to our latest episode and ring the bell so that you stay attuned to each week's episode. I want to draw your attention to our COVID helpline, 833-503-0348. Can you believe it's available from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day of the week, including Sunday? It's remarkable. Trained counselors available to help you out if you have something you'd like to talk about related to COVID that's impacting you. What a great resource for you. My guest today, Hannah Smaui, thank you for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We promised, maybe it was like a month ago, we talked about Kaylee Peevler, your sidekick in this whole donation drive.
Yep.
Came to talk about what we were doing as part of the COVID response effort. And so now we're on the back end of that. We're going to kind of share a little information about what we learned from that experience. Now, first, just to get things started, because the timing is perfect. All right, so this is, we're taping this on Friday, March 26th. And would you believe, in today's Oak Ridger, fine news publication, by the way, please subscribe to that. In this particular edition appeared our press release about the donation drive. Now, for a little context here, when you, Kaylee, and I were discussing this whole thing, I was struck by something you said. And I think, in fact, I had prefaced the conversation with, when you guys are out there delivering goods to people, just kind of attune your ears yourself to what you hear people say. And you reflected back that it's been remarkable to watch communities of neighbors of all sorts find a way to cope and deal and help people out. You saying find a way struck me, and I took a sticky note out and I wrote down finding a way. And lo and behold, we wrote a release around it. So it appeared in today's paper, and so I think it's opportune for us to talk about in what ways did this donation drive make a difference. So tell me a little bit, just, what are some high points? All 5 counties, you did Anderson, Scott, Campbell, Roane, Morgan County. What was it like?
I mean, I think for me, it's been the highlight of the year. It's something I needed on a personal level, and to kind of serve people in that way. Some of the high points, I think one, which is interesting, so I've been helping out with some substance use group therapy for Ridgeview, right? And one of the clients in there was talking about how wonderful one of the agencies is, which is one that we had picked to serve. So he's directly impacted by, what we did. And this client, it's been interesting because through the years, I've got to watch them grow and, take step backs and grow a little more, and to know that, as a community, not just Ridgeview, but as a community, we can find a way to serve our clients in more ways than one, right? So not just mental health or behavioral health, but, now he has housing, and now they've helped him find a job. And so to be able to support smaller nonprofits, I think is a beautiful thing. And again, it kind of weaves together all the services so that they know that we're all looking out for them and can help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at one point, you and Kaylee had all the donations down here in the multipurpose room laid out. Oh, there's our friendly interruption we'll just keep rolling.
Okay.
Don't allow that to interrupt your listening experience. You had from wall to wall, from floor to about chest high, all kinds of stuff. Tell us what kinds of items you had.
Yeah, that was a long day, not going to lie. That's one thing we learned, is maybe at next round we'll break it into 2 and we'll recruit a little bit more help. But we had everything from crock pots to toothbrushes to shampoo and conditioner to baby food. I mean, you name it, toilet paper, just those basic necessities that so many of us take for granted, that people really need. Because when you think about, okay, wow, I don't have dish soap, right? Or I don't have a toothbrush or toothpaste. Just the impact that that can have on somebody, just basic human needs not being met. And so to have that room filled with so many items, to know how many people would be served, because I think in total is around 2,700 items.
Wow.
And that's probably a low estimate. We were kind of running on fumes at a certain point. We were like, now this box looks like, just because there was so much. But it was also so cool to see. I mean, we definitely exceeded what we had hoped to gather. So it was definitely a gift.
Well, the visual side of it was, it was amazing. Let me tell you about another visual site. So I want to ask you about this. One thing I've noticed, and we've talked about this before, how the power of giving can, in many ways, actually change the giver more than it changes the receiver. And in this photograph, so this was on the last day of your all's delivering these items out. So this particular picture is you and Kaylee presenting to Torch here in Anderson County, and it was a Friday. And these smiles on your faces, they literally go ear to ear.
Yeah.
So describe in what ways have you been changed by this experience?
That's a great question. Well, I think being over at Torch, so sometimes me and Kaylee will help out with one of the community meals here in Anderson County at the Methodist Church. And it's interesting because I knew a lot of those items we were collecting would go to some of those people that are served through that pantry. And so as we were kind of putting the items in one of the closets in Torch, I was thinking about different individuals that I know it would go to. But I think for me personally, that this is why I chose this field. The less I can think about myself, typically the happier I am. And so to be able to do this for other people, especially when, my needs are met, but my needs are more than met on a day-to-day basis. And so, every day caring or at least working with the people we do and realizing that that is not the case. And so to be in a position to where we could help, especially the other thing too was the diapers. Diapers are expensive.
Yeah.
We'll pause. Welcome to Ridgeview, right?
Yeah. This is real life. This is what we do here.
It's busy. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, just like diapers, thinking about the mom that has no more diapers, and maybe she's living in her car right now because she had to leave the partner. You just don't know. And so I had a story to every item. That's kind of how I operate, right? There's always something beneath the surface, and it's easy to maybe look at certain individuals and have all these ideas about what's happening, but to really know on a personal level what somebody may be experiencing, it's like it was special. Really, really special. We were giddy that whole week. I'm still excited about it, and still the people that we met along the way, like we're still in contact with, and figuring out how to better serve our clients with those partnerships.
I can tell you're still giddy about it, which
I
is
am.
a good thing. I mean, there's this weird sort of contagious effect that giving or this process has done, in that, as if I understand correctly, like people are still dropping some stuff off.
Yep.
So like it's become habit. People have gotten in the habit of, other people need things that I already have. I feel better when I pass it on, pass it forward, and that makes me feel better. So that's cool. Well, I had the privilege of joining you guys when you dropped off at Morgan Scott Project and at Pinnacle. And both of those occasions, so one was, in Morgan County, way up in Morgan County. I mean, it was a gorgeous drive, but wow,
Yeah.
way up there. And I guess it was Deer Valley,
Deerfield.
Deer Lodge, Deerfield,
Deer Lodge. Deer
Lodge.
Lodge.
What's way up
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah.
And in Campbell County, La Follette, and seeing, actually being in the presence of the location, the people that are doing the work, the other volunteers, touching the the mission, the purpose with which these people are helping their own communities. It was remarkable. It was gratifying in a strange way. It was humbling to be in the presence of people that are giving it all and are truly finding a way. So where do you see this going from here?
That's a great question. So that's something that we've been thinking about. I know we definitely plan to implement it again, and I don't know if we'll choose one agency or again multiple. I kind of liked the idea of each county serving the county they're in, right? Just because there is that connection and those ties and relationships. We're also brainstorming some other ideas, but I don't have anything really set in stone yet.
Tune in for a future episode, right?
Yes.
It'll help our audience grow because they'll be waiting to know what happens. Well, I think if it's true that everyone has a story, it is incredibly powerful and a very privileged position to be able to intertwine with someone else's story. And you guys found a way to do that on a real tangible way that makes people's lives better. And what better thing to be involved with? So, well, my hat's off to you. I think the agency as a whole was really inspired by what you guys conceived of as part of our COVID response effort. COVID one day will be in the rearview mirror, but the needs of the community will remain. And I think trying to scaffold this into another sustainable effort will be time well spent. Well, you guys keep smiling.
We will.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
You're doing a good thing and making a difference, and we'll be sure to share the press release on our Facebook page and other on our website. So, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank Kaylee Peevler, who's a co-architect of this as well and couldn't be with us today. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll continue to join us for each week as we offer a new episode. Draw your attention one more time to our COVID helpline, 833-503-0348. It is available with trained counselors from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day of the week, and it's a resource there available for you. Take good care of yourself. We'll see you next week.